Before the paper, I knew they would say, and I knew by the looks on their faces. Niggas mad cause I did what they wouldn't do, say what I couldn't do. Look, bitch, I made it, I made it. Came a long way from the basement. Body on me, I ain't playing, y'all. These niggas ain't playing fair. If I would've known better, I'd do better. Took some mess and I learned from a new level. Bought some new shovels and some new stressors, and I'm ready for war like whoever. They counted me out, I can't count it all. Cause little nigga, I ball. I put them points on the board every time that I shoot, I'ma score, and you know I'm a dog. I'm really appalled, don't need no applause. I know I'm a legend, my name on the wall. First record with platinum, my second with gold. Did it independent, no deal at all. And they said it's impossible. Got them hot cause I did them without them though. I'm the same nigga, slept on the carpet floor. Even back then I knew that I'd be poppin', so I really ain't trippin'. I swear I ain't trippin'. I got in my feelings and got me a million. Couple people I thought would be with me, but they not, so it's fuck all them niggas. And then you next.
Hello world, what's good with everybody? What's going on? Show Allah, yeah, what's good with you? What's up? Hello world, what's good? Yes, indeed, man. I had to come and talk about the fights. I see everybody talking about the fights. I ain't gonna lie. It was a magnificent weekend, if you ask me, right? I know everybody having their own opinions, things of that nature, and you know, we even got commentators and former fighters not commentating, but talking about the fights. At the end of the day, man, listen. By far one of the best weekends of boxing, right? And hear me out. I'm not saying as the best fights. I'm just saying far as the best weekend, man. You know, we had boxing pretty much Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I can live with something like that. No matter if the fights are subpar, you know, of course you're gonna get your couple fights that's gonna be subpar. You know, that's on pretty much every card. You know, it depends on who the fighter is. You know, so you're gonna get that. Me personally, I thought that not going into the, how can I say it? Not going into the weekend thinking that, oh, these fights are gonna be fire, this gonna happen, that gonna happen, and things of that nature. I didn't go into it like that. You know, I really didn't. I was just like, I'm gonna check him out. I'm gonna see what's going on. You know, I'm gonna really watch details and things of that nature, see what goes on. Joseph Townsend, what's good with you? And I just said I was gonna think to myself, like, okay, at the end of each event that took place from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I would give an assessment to my own liking, right? Again, I'm one of those type of people. I don't complain about, oh, this event is $50 or that event is $60. Because at the end of the day, you know, most of y'all, I'm not gonna say most of y'all, but for the ones who party and drink, you spend $60 just to park. So you know, let's not get it, you know, misconstrued. You know, some people just like to complain about prices, complain about the events, complain about the fighters and things of that nature. Me personally, man, I'm not that person. I was seeing people saying that the fights was boring, wasn't no action and things of that nature. I mean, style make fights, that's for one. For two, I'm not a fan of fighters standing there with rock'em sock'em robots. I'm not a fan of that, right? Turkey, on the other hand, he had two different cards. The Badu Jack fight, I thought that was very, very, you know, he's not put on this picture, but you know, on the thumbnail. But he had an interesting fight, in the fight in which, at one point, I thought that it was, you know, I thought he was losing, you know, and I felt like he came back and, you know, won his fight. He's been out of ring almost 2 years, almost 3 years actually. So for him to come and do what he did, I actually thought uh, that was a pretty good fight. Georgetown said motherfucker gonna complain about $60, but always has the latest and greatest iPhone. Absolutely, man. And that's the thing that I don't get. You know what I'm saying? Uh, that's the thing that I don't get. I don't see how people complain about all the fights. Complain about all the fights, and it's pretty much majority of everybody I see all the time. Complaining about the fight. So, you know, I can't get into that. But what I will say is this: um, I went from channel to channel, just listen to what people are saying and doing the things of that nature. Um, a lot of people had to say something about a certain fan base, particularly a black fan base. Because you look at the William Scores of the world, you look at the Devin Haney's of the world. Now, what's interesting about that is this: I don't think people watch boxing to conclude themselves or ask themselves, why is this particular fighter fighting like that? Why is this fighter maneuvering, moving, not setting his feet and fainting and things of that nature? Why is this fighter not settling down? That's what people had to say about Skull. That's what people had to say about Devin Haney. Me on the other end, I look at it like this. I looked at plenty of Jose Ramirez fights. And what's interesting to me is that I don't think people actually watch Jose Ramirez enough to know why Devin fought the way he fought. Um, if you go and watch Jose Ramirez, some of his past fights, prior fights, especially when he was champion, especially when he was up and coming, you will know that he was one of the best fighters known to take away people's jabs. You would know that if you followed Jose Ramirez, if you watch Jose Ramirez. Um, he's a volume puncher. Not only is he a volume puncher, once he break his distance with you and you continue to try to jab to keep him off, he's one of the best that I've seen that knows how to take your jab away. So I understood and I understand why Devin Haney fought the way he fought. And what's crazy is many people tuned in to see Devin fight. To only see if he was gonna stand there and get hit. That's what people wanted to see. And those are the same people who criticized Devin over and over again before, saying and stating that he can't punch, saying and stating that all he had to do was get up under the left hook, saying and stating these things. By people hating, contemplating hate, desiring hate on Devin Haney, you actually made him a richer man just by watching that pay-per-view. So I understood why he fought that way, but here's the catch-22 to it. That wasn't the only game plan that they had for Jose Ramirez. Because they know that Jose Ramirez is one of the best of taking away jabs. He's one of the best at pressuring fighters. And the simple fact that he couldn't catch up to Devin's feet and be in sync into the fight, that falls on Jose Ramirez. And people would say, well, what you mean by that, Tay? Well, I mean this. If I am the fighter fighting Devin Haney and I can't catch up to him, but I know that myself Devin Haney has two other options. I mean, not two other options, but two to three different game plans. And I'm Jose Ramirez, and I not one time in the fight pressed the action. I not one time tried to cut off the ring. As a fighter, I'm gonna stay in gear one. I'm gonna stand in plan number one. There's no reason for me to go to plan number 2 and plan number 3 because this fighter beyond me or before me hasn't even tried to attempt to cut off the ring, pressure me into a corner. The best thing that Devin did that night that many people didn't see, because I know that Jose Ramirez is one of the best at taking away people's jabs. Not only Devin Haney didn't even give him a slim chance in hell to even try to take away his jab. That's what all the subtle movement was for. People was, I was hearing Antonio Tarver saying, "Oh, he's not settling in. He's not doing this." Da, 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 da. I'm like, damn, buddy, it's only first round. Then he kept saying it. I'm like, damn, buddy, it's only third round. And then I started saying to myself, but damn, Tarver, when are you going to say something about Jose Ramirez not cut out the ring? When are you going to say something about Jose Ramirez not pressing the action? So when people ask me about the Devin Haney fight, I ask them, the first thing I ask people, have you seen Jose Ramirez fight? The only fight they're going to tell you, the only thing they're going to tell you is, yeah, I saw him fight Josh Taylor. Whoa, 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 whoa. What other fight did you see? Because if you're only telling me Josh Taylor, that means you ain't never seen Jose Ramirez fight. And if you ain't never seen Jose Ramirez fight, you can't tell me nothing about what Devin did. And you can't tell me nothing about what Devin did, and you're not going to be able to tell me why Devin did what he did. But what you can tell me is this: that's not the first time that Devin Haney has fought like that. To be exact, that's the same reason why people wanted to see Devin Haney engage more before. So these was the quiet fans. The quiet fans right here. The quiet fans who was noticing what Devin Haney was doing early in his career, those were the people who saying, "Oh, we want to see you engage more." But what happened was those people who were so loud in the back, they never noticed it. But when they started getting up in those upper tier fights, then you guys, you hear everybody else, "Oh, we want you to do this, we want you to do that." And I do blame Devin for listening to the fans, because these fans ain't never gonna lace up a pair of gloves. They never gonna lace up a pair of gloves, right? They never gonna sit and watch these film with you. They're never gonna be in the gym with you. They just want to see you fight. While they sit on their ass, drink beer, licking, party, smoke, and everything else, right? That's what they want you to do. While you in there risking your life. One false move, one punch can end all, right? They still gonna be sitting, drinking, partying, smoking, whatever they do. So I do blame Devin Haney for even listening and buying into what the fans was thinking of him and his performances, right? But what I will say is this: I thought that performance, because I know who Jose Ramirez is, and I know what he does, and I know what he do. I actually thought it was brilliant on Devin Haney's behalf, because he gave him no chance to even try to take away his jab. He didn't give him a chance to take away his jab. So if Jose Ramirez has nothing to take away, and he's already puzzled and shook by the footwork and the consistent movement from Devin Haney, what is it that I'm going to give you? The best thing that I could do, and I thought that Jose Ramirez would do it, is pressure him, because that's one of the other things that he's good at. But he never did. Now, there were some times that Devin Haney lined him up. A couple body shots here and there. I think ultimately one of the body shots broke one of his ribs, from what I'm understanding. So people can make whatever they want to make about the Devin Haney experience or fight, but you can't tell me nothing about what I saw, what I know, and what I've studied. Joseph Thompson said that catfish motherfucker nigga had a parlay on Jose Ramirez. Yeah, man. Had to, dog, because it ain't no way. It ain't no way, man. Like, first round starting. He ain't even selling his feet. damn, bro. But see, I think the thing with Antonio Tarver is this: because he reached greater heights off of Roy Jones' name and beating others as well, he feel as if, and I've seen him tweet or was it either tweet or put something up on Instagram after Devin Haney lost to Ryan Garcia. He was stating that, oh, he should come and train with me, this, and the third, or all he got to do is call me and da da da. It was something to that sort. But I've seen Antonio Tarver post that about numerous of fighters after they lose. So that's something that I know. Every fighter think that they got the recipe to something. I mean, every fighter or every trainer think that they got the recipe to something. I mean, you got to understand. It's been times when Deontay hasn't looked good in the ring or lost. Trainer hit me up on Instagram or they hit me on Twitter, or I'll be in the airport and they'll see me, man, tell Deontay to get with me, man. I got him, man. This, and the third, da 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 da. Woo, 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 woo. So um uh man, y'all know what to do with that, man. Come on, man. I don't do none of that back and forth stuff, dog. Y'all can get him out of here, man. I don't that come on, man. Too old for that. So that's what I personally think about that fight. The Canelo and William Skull fight. Now I do think a little different about that fight as well. We all know what Canelo do. Oh, we all know that Canelo's slowing down. I think I was one of the first ones to advocate and state that, hey, I don't know if y'all noticing this, but he's slowing down. I had a lot of people, and it was crazy because I had a lot of Mexican fans that was mad at me about saying that. But when I actually showed them and told them what I was talking about, even some of the guys on Twitter was like, damn, bro, you got a point. You got a point, you know. Canelo he has slowed down tremendously. I was looking at a fight. The crazy part about it, I was looking at it because personally I thought that William Skull had a style like what's his name? When he fought when Canelo fought Danny Jacobs. I thought that he had a style like that. I thought he had like a Danny Jacobs style with just a little bit of moving, right? With a little bit of moving. And when I saw Skull fight, I said, man, this fight can turn into a Lara fight, or it can stand its chance with a Danny Jacobs Canelo with a little bit of movement. And once the fight came to fruition, I said, oh, I was right on the money. But the one thing that I took away from the Danny Jacob fight and the William Skull fight is that Canelo from the William Skull fight and the Danny Jacob fight, that Canelo from the Danny Jacob fight don't exist anymore. Canelo and the Danny Jacob fight was cutting out the ring, pivoting, pivoting, slipping, sliding, moving out the way. He almost looked like, he took a page out of Floyd book in the Danny Jacobs fight. To fast forward to now, me knowing that, okay, Canelo has the experience already. We've seen it with Lara. We've seen it with Floyd to a certain extent, but Floyd kind of stayed in the pocket with him as well, stayed in his face. People don't give Floyd that credit for that either. But Skull didn't really stay in his face at all. But Skull was really, whenever he did get in his face, he was able to touch Canelo. And he was out of there. It was like robbing the bank. So personally, when I was watching the fight, I was kind of conflicted on the score. Because I was like, just as much as Canelo is frustrated, but he's not doing anything either. You know, people will say, "Oh well, he's running," but at some point in time, Canelo was getting touched up too. Now you can't get touched up by running, but Canelo has to cut off the ring as well. Um, but one thing William Skull must know coming into a fight with Canelo, you're already three rounds down. So you really have no time to really be pity patting, trying to, you know, convey or convict the judges that you're winning the rounds. Now I did think that Skull was winning the rounds because he was obviously landing more, but he was also on his bike more as well. Canelo was throwing body shots, but it might be one body shot here, one body shot there. Every once in a blue moon, go upstairs, have Skull on the ropes. But then I also thought this as well. Just as much as Canelo was hit Skull to the body and upstairs, was just about the same amount of times that Skull was going upstairs and downstairs on Canelo. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But I will say this. Bud Crawford, he wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed. Bud Crawford has to be licking his chops. Bud Crawford has to be licking his chops, knowing that he's going into a fight with Canelo who can no longer move. Said Canelo needs some joint juice for those knees. Absolutely. Because Canelo doesn't look like the Canelo of. I'll put it like this: he don't even look half the fighter that he did look in the Caleb Plant fight. Canelo doesn't even look like the fight half. He don't look like half the fighter that we seen in the Caleb Plant fight. At least that Canelo, right? At least that Canelo was able to cut off the ring with a Caleb Plant. That's I don't know, man. That's the part that's kind of funny to me. You know what I mean? Um, but then again, like I said before, on a vice versa side of it, I also understand what Canelo was saying. You know, even when Canelo wanted to engage, right? Skull was a little bit on the bike too much. You know, especially trying to win some rounds. Now, I think one referee had a 113, 115, in which I do agree with, because again, you can get mad at Skull all you want, but at the same time, you got to give accountability to Canelo as well. You know, people would talk that oh well he was running. Well, what was your fighter doing to not make him run? And if you want to go back to the Devin Haney fight, that ring wasn't that big. That ring wasn't that big. Why didn't Jose Ramirez cut out the ring? Why wasn't he trying to press the issue or press the issue? I don't know. I don't know. But what I will say is this: I actually thought that the Canelo fight was pretty much subpar, right? I do agree with people on that. But I do still think that Devin Haney fought a brilliant fight. I really do, because you have to understand and know what it is that Jose Ramirez does. I understand that William Skull probably took a page out of Laura book, mixed it with some things of his liking of what he does. And like I said before, I've known William Skull to kind of have a style like Danny Jacobs, so I never really seen him move that much, but I know he was a mover. But I didn't expect him to move that much. So that's about all I'm gonna say on those fights. You know, people gonna call it running, things of that nature, but I'm not into rock'em sock'em robot boxing. That's just not me. So if you into rock'em sock'em robot boxing, that's on you. May the good Lord be with you, because I know I'm not. Man, now we were supposed to have this fight Devin and Ryan Garcia, part 2. Now I will say this. That's the second time that Turkey potentially could mess up. Now here's the thing. Turkey's going to allow Devin to still fight Ryan Garcia. Turkey just wanted both of those guys to have, a fight up under their belt before going into fighting each other. I understand it. Of course, Deontay and Joshua had to do it. Although I must say, Joshua still could have fought Deontay, but he chose not to. So it was never, oh, they both have to win or anything of that nature. It was never that, right? But I digress. Devin Haney did what he was supposed to do. And later on that night, Ryan Garcia was supposed to do what he was supposed to do. But it was a shocker. It was a shocker. Now I would say this. It wasn't a shocker to me. It was not a shocker to me. Now people will say, well, why, how come, what you know that we don't know? Or why you don't think it was a shocker? Or are you not surprised? Are you not? No, it's not that, man. It's not that at all. It's that I real deal understand what be going on. Like when Ryan and Rolly was having their feud in these gyms, I was hearing about it all. I know who got the best of who, and things of that nature. One of the things I kept saying, even when they first announced the fight that Ryan was going to be fighting Rollers, I think on Twitter I tweeted Rolling for the money. People called me crazy. Oh, you tripping? You just don't like Ryan. I was like, yeah, I don't like cheaters. I did say that. Before Ryan got caught, it was a little love for Ryan. I think I told y'all that even doing Tank and Ryan Garcia fight week. I said, I got a little love for Ryan, man. I got a little love for him. But after that, the cheating, no. You get no love from me. I don't care who you are, right? But I did say this. I said, roll it for the money. I had a lot of people retweet me. I had some people like it. I had some people say you crazy or you just don't like Ryan and da. Before the fight, I tweeted. I said, hey, you can go look at the tweets. I don't erase my tweets. Go back up there right now. I said, man, if you're betting big money tonight, you might don't want to put some money on it. Might don't want to put no money on it. Particularly, I was talking about the Teofimo Lopez and the Ryan Garcia fight. But majority, I was talking about the Ryan Garcia fight. You might not want to put no money on it. One thing that told me that Ryan Garcia was like minus 1,200, minus 1,100. You look at Ryan Garcia last 3 fights, let's say 4. Say he had the 2 fights at the Tank. Right, he had the 2 fights at the Tank in which he didn't look good in. Then he had the Devin Haney fight. Or was it 2 or 3 fights? I think he had 2 or 3 fights. I can't remember. Then he had the Devin Haney fight. He looked like the fucking Incredible Hulk then, but we all knew that was the Osterine. And then now this fight we're rolling. You go back and look at all the video footages of sparring. One thing that Ryan doesn't like, he doesn't like fighters that are physical. And you can kind of tell that they told that to the referee because every time Rolly started to get physical and being rough, referee broke it up and warned him. Go rewatch it. Right? Rolly's not the traditional boxer. Rolly's a late starter, late bloomer, right? He'll tell you that. But you got to give him credit because he's learning on the job. He's learning on the fly. He's already been in three different championship fights. I mean, he got the experience upon his belt, no matter how people feel about him. And now that he's at 47, he's punching. He's been punching, but he's punching more, and he's not have to struggle to make weight to knock you out now. I said Rolly always got the best around the sparring. Absolutely did. F.A. Bacoli, what about it? Silas had made a difference in Rolly's and me to me. I think he made Rollies be more patient. I think that he made Rollies think about what he's doing. I think that he gave Rolly direct, strict instructions. Rolly never got away from what he did the whole fight. Well, another reason why that I thought that Rolly would definitely be successful against Ryan is because Rolly has this style where he has his knees slightly bent. His front foot forward, it's not locked, it's slightly bent, but he's back on his back leg. Now I'm gonna say that again. He has his knees slightly bent, has his right foot in front of him. You know, it's not locked, but it's slightly bent, but he's on his back leg. Now you see how I went from here to there. Now Ryan, we know he's gonna throw one or two punches. He's gonna shoot the sharp jab and he's gonna throw the left hook. That's what he does. But if I'm sitting back here and you throw your hook, you're gonna miss me every time. That's all he did. And it was like the crazy part about it was so fucking basic. And I'm not gonna say Derrick James didn't pick up on it. Ryan Garcia didn't pick up on it. But people always say his IQ and the boxing brain and da da da. He's not only smart on the inside, he's a wonder boy on the outside. Man, he's fucking dumb. Come on, man. Listen, go back and watch the fight. Rolly sat back on his back leg the whole time. He got caught maybe after the first two times when he was trying to, press a little bit, coming forward and things that they trying to press. He said, nah, fuck that. I'm going to just stay back here. Ryan could never get to him. Ryan didn't know what the fuck to do. He didn't know what to do because he knew every time he throw his hook, he was going to miss. He can only touch him with the jab, right? He can only touch him with the jab when he started touching Rolly to the jab. Rolly wipe his like this, stay right there. Then round by round, Rolly was just, okay, right here, he can't touch me at all. By round 8, I'm gonna say about round 8, 9, those jabs wasn't even touching Rolly no more. Nothing. Completely took his jab and his hook away. When Ryan would try to throw the 1-2s, he would already be out the way of the jab. Ryan tried to shoot a 2. All Rolly would do is step in with his shoulder. He would step in with his shoulder and hit the gut, or not the gut, but hit the midsection of his chest or his upper abs, taking the air right out of him. Fucking brilliant by Rolly Rolando, man. And it seems, sometimes Rolly Rolando be spaced out like a little fucking bird. But I think he got some sense. I think he got some sense. I know he like the and all that crazy stuff, but I think he got some sense because if Ryan couldn't figure out that maybe I need to double my jab or triple my jab to make his head get from back there, or I got to just beat up his shoulder. I got to beat up his shoulder and keep stabbing to the midsection. Beat up his shoulder, keep stabbing to the midsection. He never once even tried it. That's when I was like, oh my God, are we really going to let this happen? And I'm not talking about a victory or a win or a knockout. I'm talking about, are we really going to sit here and act as if we don't see this? He sat on the back leg the whole fucking time. It was one of those, you're gonna have to beat me to get me out of this position. And he never did. He never tried. That's the crazy part about it. Um, and that's ultimately what got Ryan caught when he tried to hook. He tried to hook. That was the first thing. Ryan caught it off his glove. I mean, not Rolly caught it off his glove. He was already back, so he caught the hook off his glove because he was jabbing as well. Caught the hook off his glove, bang, boom, double hooked him, and dropped him. Smart shit by Rolly, man. Smart shit by Rolly. Now, it's unfortunate that Ryan Garcia lost, but he looked like a totally different fighter than what he looked like a totally different fighter, man. You can definitely see the go look at the last fight, prior fights, and up until now. I think the first person I ever heard to say that Ryan Garcia was on steroids was Fred from Barbershop Conversations. And that had to be every bit of like 3-4 years ago. He told me what it meant, saw what he saw, and I was like, damn, Fred got a point. But I never really like took heed to what he was saying. But now it all makes sense. Um, Even when I told you guys about the story when my brother saw him in Colorado, after he had the fight with Ryan, with the fight with Devin, how my sister-in-law was saying that, man, she thinks he's on drugs. And what's the ironic about that was the very next week, a year ago today, almost a year ago today, is when we found out Ryan was on steroids. Coincidentally. Yeah, I said that, Shua. Definitely. So, look, hey, what's good, man? What's happening? So yeah, man, that's where I'm at with that, man. That's where I'm at with that. I didn't want to talk about it too much because I still got some more to talk about in the days coming too. So I don't want to be too long. Um, I thought it was too, cocaine white suit looking like cocaine poppy. Understand. I heard you. Hey, hey, man, Naoya Inoue. However you say his name, I ain't trying to mess it up. Um, that kid showed me grit, integrity, and he's a fighter. You know, um, there's some people who put him way up here on his high pedestal as if he can't be touched or he's invincible. Uh, I say that every fighter can be touched. I can say every fighter can be touched. Or some people may say Floyd can't, but we all seen Floyd hurt before too. We just haven't. No, we seen him down. They just didn't call it a knockdown, right? But Naoya Inoue got caught with a hook. I mean, listen, you got to give credit to Cardenas. Um, Damn, that was a good ass fight, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, like, and I see people saying that Inoue and Cardenas saved the weekend. Man, I'm glad they was part of the weekend. I'm not even gonna say they stole the weekend or saved the weekend. Listen, to me personally, that was a good ass fight, dog. That was a good ass fight, dog. I ain't lying. Damn, that was a good ass fight. Man, that was a good fight. Naoya Inoue, man, he showed me that he can adjust. That's one thing I got out of that fight with him. He showed me that he can adjust, and just don't think that because he's Asian that he can't adjust. I guess you could say, or because you've only seen knockouts that he can adjust. No, he can adjust, and he adjusts on the fly. It's quick, fast, and in a hurry as well. So I did catch that about him. Um, He's one of those guys who like to take risks. Um, he did walk himself into that left foot. God damn, he walked himself into that, right? Not being aware. And Cordenas, shout out to Cordenas. He even though he's orthodox, he threw it from a southpaw position. Oh my God, it was nasty. He threw it from a southpaw position, and it caught Naoya Inoue by surprise, and it probably shocked him more than it hurt him. Um, man, I just can't stop raving about that fight. For me right now, that's probably like my fight of the year candidate fight right now. We've had some good fights, whether it was on a big card, local card, or or a pro box, or Salida Promotions or something like that. No matter, it was that fight right there, man. Deserve, if you ask me. Some people think that it shouldn't be a part two, but it's worthy. Is that fight was definitely worthy, man, for sure. It was definitely worthy. I mean, because a lot of people just getting hip to Naomi anyway. You know, a lot of people just getting hip to him. Unfortunately, I'm not, but I'm not a big fan of Naomi anyway. I'm not a big fan of him. I've always said that, but now I see what others are saying or have been saying. If you ask me, he doesn't need to go up to 120, 126. I do believe it's some harder fights for him at 126, and it's going to be harder on his body at 126. He may even take some losses at 126. Um, but he's already been through 4 different weight classes. I just say, hey man, stop at 22, man. Enjoy your career. Do what you want to do. If you do want to make the jump up to 26, by God, then do it. If you don't, I'm fine with it either way, because guess what? You earn my respect, brother. I've seen Naomi Inoue go down to like what 2 or 3 different fights, I believe it was. And he came back and stopped those guys. It takes a real king, it takes a real giant, a real man to get back up after being put on your ass. Back, ass, head, whatever the hell behind you. It takes a lot to get up from, and he did that. So he definitely get my respect for sure. Now I'm not saying he's on my top pound for pound and all that, because I don't do all that. I just say he a great fighter. He's still a great fighter. He earned more. He just earned more of my respect, man. Ryan Garcia, look. Even with Ryan Garcia, he got knocked on his ass. As a fighter, he got my respect as a fighter for even getting back up, because there's some guys who could have just stayed that. Well, I ain't gonna say some. Majority of some of those guys gonna stay down or act like something wrong with them, depending on what type of fighter you are. And that left hook that Naomi Inoue was hit with, god damn, that was like a bomb and detonated. Then father say, same punch Juncho gonna stop his ass with. I don't know, man. That's gonna be a good fight, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's gonna be a good fight. I don't know, man. I don't know. If it happens, it happens. It don't, it don't. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at it. But yeah, man, I just wanted to talk about those fights. But I was thoroughly impressed with Naomi anyway, man. The way how he came up, how he fought through that little storm. And not only did he fight through it, but he came and punished Cardenas. But you got to give Cardenas his full credit too. You got to give him full credit too, because guess what? And I know I heard people calling him a left driver and stuff like that, but now he's gonna be the guy, because he put on an excellent performance with Naomi Inoue. Guess what? I guarantee you he got another big payday coming. I don't know with who, but he gonna have a shot, because now those promoters, they believe in him, and all it took it was the left hook from Hill. But yeah, that's all I wanted to touch on with Devin Haney, Canelo Alvarez, and of course, I wanted to talk about the fights, the recap. I got some more stuff coming up this week, man. I had already told myself that I was going to definitely do this for the next couple of days. What are your top fights for 2025 so far? David Benavidez Morrell was tough. Uh, um, I guess you could say that. I don't think it was tough, but I mean, not tough. I just don't think it was. It was solid. I'm gonna put them on. It was solid. It was solid, but it wasn't what it could have been if they had waited maybe like 2 years. I think if that fight could have waited 2 years, I just think that Rod Neal was good with you. I just think that fight right there would have been one of them ones if they had waited 2 years, because then it's a true 50-50. You know what I'm saying? You give Morrell a little bit more time to get ready for Benavidez. It's a true 50-50. But that was pretty much like a 70-30 fight to me. And I had been telling people that, you know, Morrell was too inexperienced. And in some parts of the fight, it showed up. He's durable. I'm not saying he's durable. Anybody can make it through a fight. He's definitely durable. But some parts during that fight, he kind of fell asleep, and that's just some of the rookie mistakes. Um, I do think that what's that? It was what fight that was? I forget what fight that was or who. It was a fight that I watched. I can't remember who it was, but it was pretty good. Okay, that's why I'm here to learn. Thanks for the insight. Oh no, for sure, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I just feel like I say, I just feel like, Benavidez Morrell, if they had to wait about 2 years, year and a half, 2 years, that fight right there would have been one of the ones. Um, shit. I like the fight this past weekend. Um, who was it? Somebody else that fought too. I can't think of their name. They fought pretty damn. It was a pro box card. Najee Lopez, that's who it was. Najee Lopez. I like that fight. Um, who else? It's somebody else that I'm mentioning. I might have to rewind to hear what you said about thought about Devin. Oh yeah, I thought it was. If you ask me, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant, considering the fact of how Jose Ramirez fight. You gotta watch. See, I think what people get it fucked up at, Lil A, is this. I think that people haven't seen enough. Um, no, Najee fight this weekend coming up. Um, if you haven't seen enough of Jose Ramirez, you won't know how he fight. Um, People didn't know that Jose. Well, I ain't gonna say people didn't. People don't know that Jose Ramirez is one of the best at taking away people's jabs. What is Devin Haney known for? His jab. People don't know that Jose Ramirez takes away people's jabs. When I ask people what fight have they seen with Jose Ramirez, they can only tell me one fight. That's the Josh Taylor fight. See, I've been watching Jose Ramirez, so I know what he does. Um, yeah, man, I thought that was brilliant by with Devin, but you might have to rewind and say what I said. Yeah, because I don't want to get off what I was saying. You might have to rewind that jump. How did Drew Titan in the building? Super. Oh man, come on, bro. You know you had to send a super chat, bro. Appreciate you, family. Much love and appreciation, fam. For sure. Appreciate you. You know you ain't have to do. You know you ain't have to do that, bro. Appreciate you, family, for sure. Say how did Jagbar Bacola do? I ain't gonna lie, like I thought that fight was a 50-50 fight going into it, and then it showed me it was a 50-50 fight. Um, I had that fight a draw. At the end of it, I had that fight a draw. I think that neither one of them did enough to separate themselves. I did think that Bacoli was behind on the cards, starting in the middle rounds, but I did feel like he started, coming back in them later rounds. Yeah, I liked that fight. I thought it was a cool fight. I don't understand. See, people want to see knockouts. People want to see knockouts. Um, um, People want to see knockouts. I know he was severely, badly knocked out by Parker. It was only a bad knockout because of where he got hit at, and it was on top of the head. Once that brain shake, you're going down. You know what I mean? Drew Tice said McCullough need to get that weight under control. Yeah, I do think, but I didn't think that he was going to lose 20, 30 pounds in a month and a half. I mean, to go from what he got from where he was at fighting Parker to get down on where he was at on fight night of this, that's a tremendous step. They let me know that he did train. He did train. He just didn't have no 8-week ass training camp. You know what I mean? Um, Yeah, I mean, I like the fight, man. I can't really speak on too much of that fight because, again, um, FA, it was more he could have done. I know FA kept saying, see, FA just lost out on a whole bunch of fucking money because he said, oh, I'll fight on mistakes. That's too iffy for me over here. You just lost out on a whole bunch of fucking money, bro. Because that fight, now people going to want to see part two. And I promise you, see, this was FA not gonna understand it, right? He's not gonna understand. You got paid a lump sum of money to fight over there. You come back in the States, now you looking at like 80,000, 100,000 for that fight, bro. Nobody ain't gonna want to watch that shit. Or nobody ain't gonna pay you what you think you should get paid for it, all because you open your big ass mouth. See what I'm saying? I feel like Bacoli's big booty couldn't cut the ring towards the end. Yeah, but those heavyweights though, you know what I mean? And when he did get to him, FA was tired of shit because he was trying his best to stay away too. So they're using a nutritionist and a strength conditioning for Bacoli this time. Yeah, Bacoli just got to get a little quicker on his feet. I think if Bacoli get a little quicker on his feet, he's a real problem. He's a real problem. But listen, man, I got some more coming this week. Like I said before, I want to get into each one of those fights a little bit more, and I'll probably do so tomorrow. And Danny Garcia, you know, some boxing news. Danny Garcia got a fight card coming up, and I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna drop a video about that in the morning. Listen, I'm back. Ain't no question. I'm back. I'm probably gonna be on here like 3-4 times a week now, but I'm definitely gonna start dropping hella videos. That's not a promise. That's not a threat. That's definitely a promise. I promise you. Because I got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm definitely going to Japan with Brian Owens Jr. Get that footage over there. Of course, Deontay, he's back in camp start next week. So, we got the Kingdom Arena down in Tuscaloosa, the new arena. He getting ready to get back in the ring. So yeah, man, we got a lot of stuff working, and I got a lot of stuff working too. Yes, I have an interview tomorrow announcing that card for sure. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. But man, I appreciate everybody showing up for sure. With that being said, I'm out. Love, peace, and happiness. And hello, world.